Well, there are different types of meditation. Usually, either way, I would say there's no form of meditation where we're focused on our brain.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad we disagree.
Yeah. No, I would say here are the things that happen. We either are engaging in a mantra, which would be a version of almost like creating a trance for ourselves, not unlike listening to something when we go to sleep that would distract our conscious mind from participating. We would be overriding our the talking mind with just a sound that we're generating, or a word, or a phrase, series of phrases. The meta meditation is a loving kindness meditation with phrases. Could be that, or it could be focused on the breath. But the purpose of being focused on the breath is to not hear the self-talk that we normally have. It's a single pointed focus exercise in those that I described. The other version is an awareness meditation where you're closing your eyes and you're being with whatever is and noticing. So if we were to do it now, and you could do it eyes open or eyes closed with an awareness practice. But the first thing that I would do is I would feel, I feel a little ringing in my ears. It might be from the electronic equipment around us, and I don't mean that I hear the sound. It's like a vibration. I hear cars passing in the distance. Let's see what else comes up. I can feel a feeling in my chest. I can feel this part of my face, not sure why. Feels like it's related to my jaw. More car sounds. I'm aware of a little feeling of warmth. So now I would say the room feels a bit warm. I wasn't aware of that before when I wasn't just being with what's happening. I feel a little itch on my left shoulder. So, that would be an awareness practice, which is another kind of meditation where you're just paying attention to what's going on. There's no story. There's no, this means this, none of those things. Just like an inventory almost of everything that comes up when it comes up. And you do that for a period of time. But in all of those cases, in the example of doing the awareness meditation or doing a mantra meditation or focusing on the breath, in none of them am I thinking, and none of them am I concentrating on. I'm being aware of sense perceptions in the awareness one, or in the other meditations, I'm doing a practice so that I'm not aware of thinking about anything else.
When did you start meditating, and how often do you meditate now?
I learned when I was 14, and I started with TM, and that's probably the meditation that I've done the most in my life, and I come back to, although I tried many different kinds, and also different physical forms of meditation, Tai Chi, things like that. I meditated for 5 or 6 years, and then I stopped when I went to school, to university, and then I started again several years later. And when I started again, I realized how profound it was in me that I had done it when I did it. So I usually have some sort of a practice. In some ways, the beach walks could be a form of meditation. But for me, typically I would wake up, it'd be the first thing I would do during that sort of in-between time, maybe go out in the sun, close my eyes and meditate before starting my day. If I'm doing it twice a day, the second time would probably be right before dinner, if I'm doing it on a regular schedule. Then if I find myself on an airplane, I might meditate for an hour, or I can remember one time meditating the entire flight from New York to LA, just it was a great opportunity to do a deep dive. And time passes, you lose track of time. You don't even know. It's like going to sleep and waking up. You don't feel like that was 8 hours. It's just time stops. Not always, but when it does, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. You've sent me some meditations, including the one that you did on that transcontinental flight. And I've been trying to do longer and longer meditations, but I've always meditated a little bit, but your meditation practice is one that I'm starting to adopt. If maybe we could convince you to give us suggestions of one or two, and we can link out to them for listeners. I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
And there's also meditation-like practices to do that involve, like there's something called the surgical series from the Monroe Institute, which I used when I had a surgery. You listen to this recording, and it both allows your body to heal much faster and remove some of the trauma that goes on when, getting cut open. It's traumatic. But just through listening to certain things, you can have a really powerful effect, heal much faster. I remember I was about to be put under for a surgery, and my eyes were closed, and I wasn't communicating with anyone there because I was going inside, and my wife was with me, and they came in and they said, so they already gave Rick the sedative because he's ready to wheel in. She's like, I didn't give him anything. He's like, but look at his numbers. Like yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's an amazingly powerful practice that I like, because anyone can cultivate. There's no
absolutely. There's no good or bad version. It really is just, if you learn a technique and show up and do it, it works.